Welcome back to the Players First podcast. My name is Riley Welch. I'm the person who sits here and talks to the cool people. And with me today, I have one of my best friends and one of the guys I would probably consider I'm closest to on the team, Immanuel Quickley. And I think we're going to have a really fun conversation today. But before we get into that, I want to give a quick shout out to the University of Kentucky football and volleyball teams. Football is going to the Belk Bowl.
Yeah.
They've dealt with a lot of injuries, so they've still managed to have a very impressive season. So quick shout out to them. And then the volleyball team is playing in the Sweet 16 in Waco, Texas. They have the University of Washington first, and then I believe they most likely play Baylor in the Elite Eight if both teams win. They had a really good season. I think they had 4 girls, were all SEC. I know Quick was there with me and a few of the other guys watching their game. I had a lot of fun going to their games this year, so I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. But anyway, Quick, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you having me on your podcast. I'm a lucky guy today.
Oh, no, not at all. Those of you that were not fortunate enough to be at practice today missed out on Quick going for about 35.
Quick
and
who?
Yeah, don't even start. Quick had a very good day today, and while Nate could not practice himself, Nate was Quick's biggest fan from the sideline.
He was cheering.
He was all in for Gray today. But Quick had a very good day, shooting the ball well, getting in the paint. It's good to see you back to 100%, getting to have your normal practice reps after that little chest contusion.
Yeah, it's good, but also it's also good to be able to work out with you. A lot of people don't know, that we get to work out before practice, after practice, stuff like that. So it's cool with that too.
Yeah, no, that's I really enjoy working with you. I always appreciate how open to new things you are, and you know what you want to do, which is always makes working with guys easier when the guy you're working with has an idea of the things they want to get better at, what they feel like they're not doing well, what they do well, but you need to continue working at to get better and better and better. And I think we've found a pretty good routine pregame. I know you do a pregame with Vince mainly, and then right before the game. Hey, Khalil.
That's the superstar you need to be interviewing. Khalil Whitney.
And then I think when we come back out
20-minute mark.
Yeah, we get another good little workout in. So I think you're always ready to go by the start of the game. But speaking of working out with you, I spoke to Rex before one of the games, and he told me he thinks you're the most improved player in the country. Speak about your transformation from your freshman year to this year. Obviously, you're a big-time recruit, McDonald's All-American, 5-star. But what did you do differently? Obviously, you have an expanded role on this team as compared to last year's. But I know you're one of the hardest workers I've ever been around, professionally, college, high school. You work, and you work your butt off. What did you do? Was there something that when a moment was like, I need to spend this much time in the gym? Was there was there a moment where the light just snapped? It's like, I got to do this? Or is this just kind of how you always been?
A little bit of both, kind of how I've always been, but a little bit of the light snapping, with that expanded role you talked about. Just coming in, guys last year like PJ, Reed, they were, quote-unquote veterans leading us, and they're gone. So for me coming in on year 2, it's just important for me to, take a step up and just try to help this team any way I can just to help us get wins.
And I think you've done that so far in a very positive way. I know we missed you. What game did you miss?
Utah Valley.
Yeah, I know, and we got to win. I think we'd all agree we didn't play as well as we would have liked, but we've had a very tough past 2 weeks of practices.
Yeah.
How would you and then we played much better against Fairleigh Dickinson than we had previously. How would you say those practices, and it's been very competitive, a lot of 5-on-5, how would you say that's impacted our team?
I think it's been good. I don't think a lot of us know that we didn't practice like this last year a lot, and I think people that have came back could say the same thing. Last year was a lot more, we'll play 5-on-5 than a drill, play 5-on-5 than a drill, but these past couple of weeks we've been getting after it for like 30, 45 minutes, just going up and down, up and
continuously,
down.
Continuously the whole time.
And I think that's helping us a lot in the game, conditioning and things like that. So it's been good.
And I think it's also been good just with the freshmen, there's there's a jump you have to make. A
Exactly.
different competitiveness and a competitive level you have to play with when you get to college. And so, when you have young guys and a young team, you're not going to be, like Cal always says, we're playing for March. You're not going to be how you are game 30, game 2.
Facts.
And so I think just playing, competing so much with each other and going against each other has raised everyone's level to the point where they're starting to understand, practice is a dogfight.
Exactly.
So I know what it's going to be like in a game. And we're fortunate enough to have, 10 scholarship guys who are really good. And we got BC and Ben.
And yourself.
And Zan, when he's healthy. But we're lucky to have.
He's not going to talk about how he gets in the game and does all the no-look passes and stuff like that. So I just got to be the advocate for Riley. He does really good when he gets in.
I appreciate that. But I think we're fortunate enough to have, depth where we can put 5-on-5
Facts.
and have guys have good matchups, and they got to play against each other, and they got to work hard. And there's no one you can, take lightly, play off of. Everyone's being pushed, and everyone's getting better.
Right. And that's why you come to Kentucky, to play against the best of the best, practice against the best of the best. And that makes you better. And as the season gets on, everybody's level gets elevated, and you keep getting better. And by the end of the year, if you're where you want to be, the end goal is to win the championship, but also individually try to get to the highest level.
No, exactly like you said that. I think when you choose to come to Kentucky, you're understanding like two basic things. You're coming here because we're competing to win a national championship.
Right.
That's we want to get to Final Fours, we want to get to Elite Eights, but the goal is it's Big Blue Nation expects a championship.
Right.
That's what we're competing for. That's what we're striving to get. That's why we work hard. And while we're competing for championships, we're also trying to help each person out individually with their goals and aspirations. And, everyone doesn't have the same thing. Like, you are going to be an NBA player. I am not going to be an NBA player unless things change drastically in the
You could grow to
6'5", in the next 24 months. But we still have a lot of people in the program that are helping me, and I really appreciate them.
Right.
And just like they're helping me, they're helping you guys, and we're pushing. And, it's different. Like, Cal and the coaching staff, they can be very tough on guys. Like right now, Tyrese is he's getting coached a lot in practice, and it's probably an adjustment for him. Big-time player. And now you have to put up with some things and go through some things that you haven't before, but it's all for winning a championship and achieving your personal goals.
Exactly. And just to go back what you said about Tyrese, that freshman and sophomore year is a big jump for me individually, because freshman year you don't really know anything. You don't even know where your classes are. You don't know time management, things like that. So that freshman and sophomore jump is really huge.
Yeah, I think one of the things, especially here, people forget is how young our guys are. Like, you guys you're so good in interviews and so good on TV and goofy on social media.
Right.
It's like people see you as older than you are. You're not even 20 yet, are
Still
you?
kids. I just turned 20.
You just turned 20. And Tyrese is still 18.
Yeah.
Or no, he's 19 now. I apologize.
Yeah, he just turned 19 too.
But we have guys who, appear as if they're 25.
Right.
And really, they very well could be at home still.
Yeah.
And, they're being criticized and being torn down. And then you got to deal with the things like getting to class on time.
Right.
Finding a way to eat lunch in between class and practice. Like, things like that. It's hard to, until you've done it and you kind of found a rhythm, it's tough. And then if you don't eat lunch, you might not feel as good at practice. And then the coaches are on you. Then you're having a bad day. Then you don't feel like going to class or a tutor. And so, like, things spiral.
Exactly.
And so when you're young, and then when you're young, you don't have the same tools as when you're older to deal with those type of things.
Exactly. A lot of people don't see it, but, that's why that's why you come to Kentucky to prepare for things like that. When you come here, you're expected to, be a man on and off the court, and that's why you come here.
Speaking of coming here, what was when you came, who were your final three? It was
Maryland, Kansas, Miami, and then here.
What was it about Kentucky that separated? Like, obviously, those are very good other programs. What was it about Kentucky that made you say, you know what, like, this is the opportunity I want to pursue?
First of all, I knew I wanted to be a pro, and I didn't want to just be a pro on the floor. I wanted to be a pro, off the floor, my mentality, my mindset. It's one thing to get to the NBA, but it's another thing to be ready and to stick. So that was one thing, the coaches, Joe, Barbie, even KP, they push you in a way where you're ready. You see Tyler last night. He's in overtime making big-time shots. It's just that mentality when you leave here. I think it's just different from other schools.
I completely agree with that. And you just look like right behind us,
Facts.
like just the sheer number of guys on the wall, and I think we have the most guys on. I think we had what 27, 29 guys on NBA rosters, and not only do we have guys in the NBA, but we have superstars.
Right.
We have Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis had 50 last night.
We got Karl Anthony Towns. We got John Wall. We got Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox. Like, these are all guys making max money.
Right.
And I didn't even list all the guys making max money.
Exactly.
Is like you come here, you put yourself in a position that's completely unique across the country, where our coach has been doing this for 10 years at this one program, and he's got a proven track record of success. You can say anything you want about Coach Calipari, how he does things, but you also have to say he has won, and he has put guys where they want to be.
Absolutely.
It's like, to me, when you judge things based off results,
Yeah.
and he's delivered.
Every time. A lot of people don't know he's really funny, though. The dude is comedy. But like
the faces he makes in practice.
Man, when he imitates people, that is the funniest. You could go through every person he's imitated this year. But yeah, like you said, the numbers speak for themselves. So
changing topics a little bit, but you're very close with your family.
Yeah.
I've gotten to meet your family, your mom, your aunt, your sister. I love them. They're the happiest, nicest people ever. I always see you guys in here playing Uno.
I appreciate
know.
that. They always get smacked too. Let's let that be known on the camera that I don't never lose an Uno.
But you have such a wonderful family. They're always making the drive up here. Just kind of talk about your relationship with them and what their support has meant to you through the years.
Their support has meant everything. The woman in my life, my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt, my little sister. They mean a lot to me. They've been coming to all my games since I was little. So for them to, just be able to come now. My aunt has never missed a home game. She's been to every home game that I played in. So, for them to be able to support me is really big.
And not only, and what I think is just amazing and just speaks so much about you and your family is not only do they come to your games, but when they're here, they came to the volleyball game.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, quick, get over here. Like
Right.
They're just the nicest, most supportive people. No matter who it is, no matter who you are, they're gonna treat you with such love and kindness. And I know, when I see them, it always just puts me in a better mood.
Exactly.
So I know it's it must be great to come from a family with just such good and positive people.
Yeah, I appreciate that. My mom's she's actually a teacher.
Really?
Yeah, so she's always she teaches 11th grade, so she's always with kids, things like that.
What subject?
English.
Oh, okay.
Which happens to be one of my
strong suits.
No. Happens to be one of the subjects I struggle with.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a math science type of guy.
Interesting. Because you also have a music background,
exactly.
So that would kind of somewhat translate to
a little bit.
And you also you have a great vocabulary. You speak very well. That's surprising to me that you're not.
Thank you, Riley.
Yeah, no, I mean,
appreciate that.
Of course, you're my guy.
All right.
So back to your music. Tell me a little bit about that. You play. I think Deb told me beforehand you play the saxophone, the piano.
A little bit now. Piano's a little bit every now and then, rarely. But the saxophone I played in high school, they actually had me in the band. But
so I
was in the marching band. A lot of people don't know that.
Were you bullied at all?
By my teammates, I was. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the reasons. Nah, that ain't one of the reasons I stopped. I stopped because basketball started getting serious. But even I think even Nate could tell you, because Kimball.
Yeah.
His college teammate was my high school teammate, so they could tell you, they bullied me a little bit, but it wasn't nothing. I was still that guy playing the saxophone and hooping at the same time. So.
How often are you able to play the drums, play the saxophone, like I know we're super busy.
Right.
I think people realize that, but just to reiterate, the days are full.
Right.
You wake up in the morning, you get a workout in. You have class, you have to eat, you have to do schoolwork. You have to lift.
Practice.
Then you have to practice, then you have to eat again, and then you have to work out again.
Tutors.
There's not a whole lot of time to kind of explore, especially during the season, to explore your outside interests.
Right.
So how often are you able to get to do those things?
Usually when we get an off day. So tomorrow I'll probably go play the drums.
Where do you go?
I go to my local church that I go to. But the saxophone, I got the saxophone in my room, but I rarely play that. Right now I'm just really into the drums right now, so I've just been focusing on that.
And you put out a video with the UK athletics department.
Yeah, I think it's coming out soon. So
Oh, it hasn't been released yet. I saw a little preview of it though, right? It's coming? When's it coming? December 22nd? January?
dang, we releasing dates now. What's up?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming out within a week or two. Is what she was saying. I'm sorry. Deb doesn't have a microphone. What? Definitely keep an eye out for that because the 30-second clip I saw looked very, very cool. So that'll be special. But you also talked about your church. I know your faith is something that's really important to you, and I put out to Instagram asking you any questions, and a lot of them were revolved around your faith and what you believe. And so just speak a little bit about that, like how that's influenced your life, basketball, family, personal, because I know it's a big part of who you are.
Definitely helped me out with basketball, especially in my second year. Just for myself, my first year I was kind of, just really just hooping, but my second year I kind of took a step back just to, realize who I was, where I come from. And church is definitely a big part of my life. So for me to just, have that mental stability, just, know that church is the forefront before I do anything, before I play basketball, before I'm playing the drums, was a big part of just keeping me mentally stable type. Because Kentucky it can wear on you sometimes, whether people see it or not. It's not for everybody. That's what Coach Cal always preaches.
And it's kind of like being a fishbowl here.
Yep.
You have what, 70,000, like around 70,000 Instagram followers.
Yep.
Everything you do is it's tough to walk around campus and not be noticed.
Exactly.
And so it sounds cool, but then when you're actually everything you do, sometimes you just want to be a goofy kid, and then people are taking videos and pictures of you.
Right.
It's nice to just get away and be alone.
Right.
So I know definitely what you mean about how it can wear on you, and also you play well, people will build you up. Play poorly, people will tear you down.
Yep, comes with it.
And so I'm sure you read the article I gave you that I put up in the locker room about how you just have to stay unfazed by all that, and just people will give you. It was a email from Ryan Holiday at the Daily Stoic. Coach Cal actually gave us his book, Stillness is the Key to Read. I love Ryan Holiday and what he writes about stoicism. I love his daily emails, so I recommend anyone checking that out. But I took one of those, printed it out, laminated it. I have a laminator machine, and I put it up in the locker room. And so I think that just kind of, epitomizes how mentally tough you have to be to play at Kentucky.
Exactly. On the floor, off the floor, like you said it, with the technology age, with Instagram, Twitter, people are going to say stuff about you, but you just got to stay locked in on your goal and just be locked in on what you need to do.
Yeah, I think how is it for you when people criticize? Because here, there's not a college program in the country that gets more attention than us.
Right.
How is it when, you're going through a rough patch and then you got, we lost to Evansville. Yeah. Obviously, we were the number one ranked team in the country. That wasn't something any of us wanted to go through. Right. It may end up helping us in the long run, refocused us, made us get better. But we took a lot of heat for it. How do you deal with something like that? Like when adversity hits, what do you turn to? Do you just, I know with me, when something bad happens, my dad always preached to me, you work when things are going good, you work when things are going bad.
Right. And
so you just turn to the work. What do you, when that happened, what was your thought?
I mean, you can either crumble or you can use it as motivation, and I use it as motivation to just get back in the gym, keep working on my game. Credit to coaches, everybody just helping me, everybody just staying locked in to what we need to do. But like everybody preaches around Kentucky, we're not playing for, even though we don't want to lose games, we're not playing for games right now. We're just playing to get better, when March comes, and that's usually when Coach Cal's teams are the best.
I completely agree with that. I just remember it was when we beat Michigan State, we didn't win a championship.
Right.
When we lost to Evansville, we didn't lose a championship.
Right.
Beating Michigan State felt great. Losing to Evansville felt terrible.
Right.
But lost in that is the season still goes on. We still have 25 games.
A lot of basketball to be played.
And the most important stuff doesn't come till later. And so I think that was one thing that kind of helped me move, going forward was, all right, now, that wasn't what we wanted, but we're going to move forward. We're going to get better from it. We're going to work harder. And you just, things in life happen that you don't want to. You just take them and you move on with it.
Exactly.
Whew. You're from Harbor de Grace, Maryland, correct?
Shout out to my city from the 9.
How I know you're very close with Markel Fultz. How did that relationship? I know he's from the DMV area.
Yeah.
How did that relationship develop?
Well, it actually started. We played against each other in high school. A tournament called Hamburg Catholic. He went to DeMatha.
Mm-hmm.
I went to John Carroll, and we played against each other. I knew him a little bit before that. Same trainers and stuff like that. But we just got close over the years, and he went to Washington. I was being recruited by Washington pretty heavily until one of the coach left, and then I had cut them off my list. But that's basically how I got started.
And how has working with him helped improve your game? Because obviously, he was a terrific college player at Washington, and then has had some struggles since he's been in the NBA. And
Yep.
I think he's having a bounce back year with Orlando. He seems like a great kid. Like, I'm really happy for him. But how has you two working together helped each other?
It's been really good. This summer, while he was with the Magic, I got to go down to Orlando for a week. Just live with him, off the court, on the court. It was really cool. On the court, I got to, just pick his brain, play him a little bit one-on-one. Just to get a little bit of the feel, kind of what it's like to be in the NBA.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's very important. Because the NBA is different. This is as close as you get, but it's still, it's grown men. It's
right.
It's your livelihood. You're getting paid to do it. And I've been fortunate enough to be around the NBA quite a bit my whole life.
Yep.
With my dad. And so you get to see it, and I promise you, Kentucky's as close as it gets. I've been around college programs too. We're treated unbelievable here. The things we get,
really?
The opportunities presented with us, the people that are looking out for us, no complaints at all from me. And I don't think anyone else on the roster would complain about anything either. But it is different in the NBA, and it's cool getting to work, see how a pro works, and especially a guy who's working for something. A lot of guys are working to maintain, and that's where they are in their career, but Markel had something to prove this summer. And so I think just like you did, coming back, I don't think you had the freshman year you wanted to.
Right.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I definitely could have had a better freshman year.
And so
say that.
Coming back your sophomore year, you have something to prove to people.
Exactly.
And I remember one article called you said you would be a glue guy. And I think we both read that and we're kind of they just really don't know.
Right.
We've seen, the people inside this facility have seen what you can do and how good you are, but the rest of the world hadn't seen it at that point. And all you could do is really laugh and just,
keep it moving.
They just don't know.
Yeah.
You can't blame them. It's just, you're not what people thought.
It is what it is, though.
And I think with you, Ashton, and Tyrese, we have 3 really, really high-level guys, and we're really lucky to have the combinations we can play with. All 3 of you can play the point. All 3 of you can play off the ball. I don't know. We have a really good group of guys,
right.
And sometimes I feel like people don't give you as much credit as you deserve because you're surrounded with 2 other guys in the backcourt who are both also very talented and very good.
Yeah, they're really talented. I try not to worry too much about, stuff like that, but, all you can do is go out and play hard every night, try to give it your all and keep working. That's really all you can do.
I completely agree. And that's, speaking of the other talented guys we have in the backcourt, I think just every day coming to practice, it makes you guys so much better because, depending on who's on what team, one of you guys is matching up with one of the other ones.
Yeah.
And then if not, someone's matching up with Johnny. It's these are all NBA prospects, high-level guys. It's tough. Ashton's the best defender
right.
Coach Cal's ever had, according to Coach Cal.
Right.
So, Tyrese going against him, that's going to make Tyrese a lot better. It might not make practice a lot of fun.
And shout out to the great team. We did get Blue out of there today, so shout out to the great team.
I did play for 4 possessions. I was solid.
Get him out of there, Riley. You was really solid in your minutes, though. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you come in and you just you work your minutes. Work your minutes.
Your plus minus was probably
it was
6, 7.
It was terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific. Yeah. I didn't play the first 35 minutes, but the last 5 I came in and really just, took over, I'd say, without taking a shot. I really impacted the game.
Control the game. That's all that matters, man. Control the game.
Oh, we were doing a drill where we were trying to get off threes, and Quick was like, "Riley, come on the point." I was like, "Yeah, I'll
I
find
was
you."
trying to shoot it. I was trying to shoot.
Oh yeah, practice today was a lot of fun. Practice every day. They're intense and competitive.
Especially when everybody's talking trash. That's what make practice real fun.
Yeah, no. Then the locker room
The locker room
afterward
gets crazy.
is hilarious, and you got Nate out there like just talking recklessly to everyone. And Ashton didn't like that too much today.
Oh, bro, they was going at it the whole day. But yeah, we got blew out of there today. So
Yeah, no. Gray had a great day, and
yeah.
there's some debate on how the scoring works for those that don't know.
They be cheating.
And so Blue claims that Gray is just given points, and then Gray claims that Blue gets 6 times as many possessions.
Nah, what really messes everything up is Coach Cal be giving Blue 5 possessions in a row. And then every time they score, they want to give the points to every possession they score. Like, we don't get a chance to get the ball back. So that's really what be messing up everything in practice.
Yeah, and so when I was at UCI, we had what we call Gold Squad.
Yeah.
And that was, the backups. And so, like, every day I just came in, and me and my best friend were like, gold today. Like, they didn't have to tell us. We just knew. And so Gold Squad actually had some, really high-level players. Like, one of my best friends, Colin Velp, is going to be an all-conference player at UCI this year. And then we had another kid grad transfer to Arizona off that team. It's like we had a good 5-man unit. And we love to say that we beat our starters more than half the time, and there are always some friendly debates. So it's always a lot of fun when you get to compete in practice.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing Michigan State, I know how much fun I had getting to be a part of that game.
Yeah.
It was a crazy atmosphere. John Wall literally directly across from me the whole game, going crazy. Kevin Durant across from me, Tom Thibodeau, and then we're playing Michigan State, who's the ranked 1 at the time, and we're 2.
Yeah.
At, I think 9 p.m. on ESPN, or is like, that's insane.
Yeah.
How was it starting in that game, and how did you deal with the nerves that accompany that and the pressure that comes in playing with that game?
Yeah, well, starting with the game from the year before, we had lost to Duke. Obviously, everybody knows about that game. But just being able to come back, like I said, the year 2, I knew what the vibe kind of, you know what I'm saying, was going to be like. The fans, it's just really cool. You can't really explain a game like that. I mean, like, everybody's going crazy. The music is going. Everybody's jumping in warm-ups. You feel bouncy, things like that.
I did not feel bouncy in warm-up.
You might not feel bad. But guys like us are feeling a little bouncy, windmills. And
White
like
b-ball pains right there for you. Yeah, that's the one thing I come into practice, I jump stop, I pivot, I pass.
Bounce pass.
Yeah, I bounce pass.
But yeah, just the game really can't be explained. It was something that was really cool to be a part of.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I was very lucky to be in that situation where I was a part of that. Biggest fan. I love watching our guys succeed. We work so hard. So it was nice. It was a lot of fun winning that game, and then having John Wall come in the locker room and talk to us. Have you been in contact with who's been the most influential former Wildcat on you?
I talk to John Wall every now and then. I got his number. I text him about different stuff. I remember last year, it was just tough. Freshman year is just tough sometimes, and I hit him up like, man, how did you deal with Coach Cal getting on you? Stuff like that. Coach Cal's word for me was always Phil. He used to always get on me. So I text John Wall a little bit. And he just said, sometimes you just got to sprint down the floor and shoot it before he can even yell at you. That was one of his answers. So, I still got that in my mind now. Just try to get it down the floor before he can even say something.
That's funny. Yeah, and like you said, it's when you're a freshman, there's so many ups and downs, and you don't know how to deal with it because it's something you've never done before. Just like, when you're a freshman in high school and you're playing with the high school team for the first time.
Exactly.
Then, you're a freshman in college. There's ups and downs, and until you've gone through them, you don't know how to deal with them.
Exactly.
And so that's why, I think guys are able to make, especially here, such a big jump when they do come back for a second year, like what PJ did last year.
Yep.
PJ had a terrific year, and he's been a monster.
Yeah,
for the
first
Hornets.
game had 7 threes.
Rookie record, and that's speaking of you being able to text John Wall, and John played for Coach Cal's first team,
right? And
so he's probably 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's the cool thing about Kentucky is we have all these resources and guys who want to play in the NBA. You just have you have 30 people who will have no problem
Give you
reaching out to
advice.
you,
Yeah,
telling you, how they dealt with this experience, this situation,
exactly.
and that's like, we say La Familia, and that's what makes it really cool about being at Kentucky is just, no matter when you played here, who you played for, is like, you've got the Kentucky family that's going to have your back and support you and do anything they can to help you get to where you want. They're not going to
No doubt.
give you anything, but they're going to do everything in their power to
To
help
help you.
you achieve yourself.
No doubt.
Oh yeah, TJ, who is TJ, just text me. I guess your first year, you got your teeth knocked out in practice because Ashton fouled you.
Yeah, man, he be fouling. Yeah,
First
like
practice,
everybody know Ashton is a hack, man.
I when Ashton chooses to guard when me or BC are in,
Oh
he
gosh.
chooses to guard me or BC, and then immediately just smacks our arms until the ball comes out and then
It's
count.
even worse in practice because there's no refs. He just fouls anybody.
And when I have Ashton on, I promise you he will 100% dispute this claim. But the scratches did not get there by themselves. There was a reason.
Man, I got scratches on me.
Yeah, no, Quick got hit really, really hard today.
Oh yeah, but talking about that, yeah, I was going for a layup. I was really about to dunk it, but he just grabbed me and I couldn't. He just fell and hit my teeth. Hit my teeth and my teeth.
How do they look now?
Oh, I got that perfect smile still. You in on that? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, now we're gonna go to I outsourced some questions to Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram already, please do at Riley__Welch
Always about Riley.
WELCH. You have 70,000 followers. You have 10 times as many as
You
me.
never asked for a shout out.
Oh, I'd love one.
Okay, well we need a picture, so.
Thank you very much. But anyway, back to some of the Instagram questions. Like I said, one of my best friends at UC Irvine, he posed a good question to you.
All right.
He said, let me find it. He said, if a red man lives in the red house and a green man lives in the green house, who lives in the White House?
The president. Come on now. What I got, a 3.5? I think I got a 4.0, something like that.
Very impressive, very impressive. All right, now to some more serious ones. Stephen Smith asked what your favorite Bible verse is.
Favorite Bible verse. Either Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ, or Romans 8:28, and it just talks about how God has everybody's ordered steps, and whoever believes in Him, their plan is all mapped out for them. So that kind of relates to basketball a little bit.
Someone asked who has the best shoe collection on the team.
Best shoe collection. I would have to say Nick. Nick. A lot of people don't know about Nick's fashion. Nick actually has a really good sense of fashion.
Nick also has 2 lockers full of gear.
Full of clothes and gear.
And he just cleaned it out about a week and a half ago, and it's already filling back up again.
Yeah, Nick has a lot of. I go to Nick sometimes for some sweatshirts or for some big T-shirts.
Yeah.
You know how the style
Uh-huh.
is. Wear the big T-shirts. So
Yeah.
I go to him sometimes when I need some good fits.
Oh yeah. Nick is the big friendly giant on our team.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have him, and
Yeah.
Nick's had a great start to the season. I'm so proud and happy for him.
Exactly.
Great kid, deserves all the success he's gonna get. And real quick, a little break from the Instagram questions. Your start to the season, you've had a very good start to the season. How do you feel about it? Where do you think you're going from here?
I feel really good. In my opinion, I just gotta keep getting better, not let my foot off the gas. Even though we're all a team, I'm trying to, just individually just try to be as good as I can be, and hopefully that'll help the team win games.
I completely agree. Someone asked, where do you see yourself a year from now?
A year from now, try not to look too far ahead, but hopefully if I have a good year, hopefully I'll get to the NBA. If not, I'll come back to school another year and keep getting better and try to win another national championship.
One of my friends, Riley Linehan, who's actually dating a one of the best players on the volleyball team, he asked, in your post-basketball life, what are your plans and goals?
After I retire.
Like after you're completely done with basketball. Like you actually mentioned something about having a podcast like CJ McCollum. Like, what do you want to do? Like, you've made your 100 million playing basketball. What does Immanuel Quickley want to do with his life now?
All right. Well, first of all, I was watching Rio the other day, so that just made me want to travel to Rio. So I got to travel to Rio. Honestly, just trying to spread my faith to help other people, any people struggling and stuff like that. But maybe coaching, like you said, podcasts, and then commentating basketball. You see guys like Shaq, Jalen Rose.
I think you'd be great at that. That'd be. I'd enjoy sitting next to you talking about basketball.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, that would be a couple of the stuff that I would definitely want to do.
You're a big movie guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
What is your favorite movie?
Honestly, I love kids movies, to be honest. Like Rio, I love Toy Story. Monsters Inc. is another one. I love that one. My favorite show is Power, though. I hate The Office. I cannot stand The Office.
Really?
I can't stand it. It's not funny.
Strong disagree with that one.
What?
Strong disagree. Me and Quick don't disagree about much.
I didn't like Friends at first, but it's starting to wear on me. So.
Me and Quick don't disagree about much. Strong disagree. I'm a big Office fan. One of my favorite Office quotes is, "Don't listen to your critics, listen to your fans." And I could not relate to anything more.
I just don't understand. I guess I'm just not funny or something, but
I'd agree with that too.
yeah, but just I even tried to watch the basketball episode. And I'm just looking at it like this is not funny. But I mean, everybody got their own sense of humor, so it's whatever.
Who is the biggest impact? Who made the biggest impact on your life growing up?
Definitely say my mom. How hard she works to provide for me and my family. She gets up early, stays late, picks me and my sister up from school, drives far to get me, and then goes to get my sister when I was in high school. So I definitely say my mom, and everybody just wants to help their mom get off their feet and stop working and stuff like that.
So would you say that's what motivates you to take care of your mom and your family?
Definitely.
That's that's about as pure of a reason to do something as there is. Especially when you got a family like yours who's willing to do anything for you. And I can't speak enough how much I love your family. Like, they're really good people, and I love being around them. And they always make me feel good about myself. Like, we'll be at the volleyball games, and people will be asking pictures for like Nate and Nick and Quick. They'll be like, he's on the team too. I'll be like, no, it's okay. I don't need to be in the picture. She'll be like, no, go, Riley, go. And I'm like, okay.
That's them for you.
And then I'm just like, I'll be on then so you can crop me out. But back to the questions. What's your favorite memory at Kentucky so far?
Whew. That is definitely a tough one because there are so many. I think the best one, though, does it have to be basketball?
No, it can be any type of memory.
All right, so
this is a free show.
It's definitely last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. We got one of the managers kept banging on our doors like to wake us up for practice, but we you know how we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're fine. Like, we're gonna get up.
Yeah,
you don't have to bang on our doors OD hard. But Kev Gow was one of the guys. So at night at about 2 or 3 a.m. we had went to the back and got a cold tub full of water. And we went in his room at night and dumped it on him.
Well, I'm sure Kev was happy about that.
Heated. He was OD.
Kev's a strong guy too. I would not.
He started chasing everybody. 3rd floor, 1st floor. He was just running all up and down the lodge. So that was crazy.
Oh man.
That was definitely the best moment by far.
What's your favorite basketball memory?
Favorite basketball memory? That's it. I guess it would have to be getting to the Elite Eight. That was probably the best basketball memory here. just besides how funny practice is sometimes, I guess. Even last year, a lot of people don't know how funny PJ is, bro. He is hilarious. He just goof around all day. But yeah, I guess the lead eight is probably the best memory we've had here.
What was it like playing in the Elite Eight? Like, I know for me, I've never played in the NCAA tournament. My freshman year, uh, my freshman year, we lost in the conference tournament championship game, and I was so heartbroken because
Right
like
there.
I dreamed about it my whole life, and I was like, we probably lose by 20, so I'd play like a minute or two in the first half, and I'd get a solid 4 minutes in the second half.
Yeah,
I was like,
planned out.
I'm on CBS, TNT, I'm on some type of national television playing in the NCAA tournament. Like I get the shirt,
Yeah.
like I was very excited. What was it like, making such a deep run, and how do you feel about our chances this year?
It was crazy just knowing we were so close. Like you said, as a kid, everybody watches, the NCAA tournament. Everybody dreams of playing the Final Four. So for us to just be so close and come up short, it was really tough. But I think this year we got another really good chance, another great group of guys. Everybody's starting to find out their role and things like that, how they can help this team win. So I think we got a lot of pieces to the puzzle that can help.
Well, is there anything else you want to tell Big Blue Nation or anyone across back home in Maryland?
Not really. Shout out to the nine. Had to Grace, Maryland. Love you, Ma. Appreciate you, Riley, having me on the show.
My guy, thank you so much.
My dog.